It's finally here. Ducktales Remastered released last week for PS3, Wii U, and PC. So, after months of expectation and hype, is DuckTales still awesome? Or is it just some cheap nostalgic cash-in? Let's find out as we take a look at DuckTales Remastered.
My feet, my hands slid across the rail, collecting dust, my fingertips, and I came into a dark room. The smell of whetstone many years, and there was a robotic retard, blank, empty stare. Was a handle, android man. Life is like a hurricane here in Duckburg.
The best place to start is the beginning. DuckTales was originally released way back in 1989, same year I was born. While the show of the same name was gaining increased popularity on the popular programming block known as the Disney Afternoon. I'm sure most of you who are at least my age remember it. Many of us still look back on the show and NES game fondly. Just a great show and an even better game. See, this game was made while companies like Capcom and Konami were kings of video games. More importantly, these companies were picking up popular TV show and movie licenses and making games from them that didn't suck. I know, virtually unheard of. Anyway, one of the fruits of these license deals was DuckTales for the NES, one of the greatest platformers of all time. The game and the property itself have always remained popular amongst those of us who remember it. Much to fans' excitement, Capcom announced that WayForward Games would be creating an HD remake of the game back in March of 2013. Okay, now that all that history is out of the way, let's get to the task at hand, shall we? It's obvious right off the bat that WayForward Games had a great love and respect for the original game. Everything is spot on, but better. From, obviously, the graphics, music, and sound effects, to the fact that they went ahead and got the voice cast of the show to come in and create a story for a game that never really had one. That means that a 94-year-old man is still acting. By the way, Alan Young is still the perfect Scrooge McDuck. Some people around the internet have actually said that the addition of the cinematics are stupid. I can't see why anyone would say that, really. Why not add something we already loved? Just as before, you collect treasures to earn score in the form of money. However, this time around, money can be used to purchase artwork and music from the gallery. Now, the controls are just as tight and responsive as they've always been. It still feels like it's your fault every time you fuck up, and believe me, you will fuck up. A lot. It goes to disprove something I've been saying for a long time now. I felt for years that we've been enduring what I call the pussification of the modern gamer. Games seem to be getting easier and easier lately. They don't want to hold the player's hand so that, no matter how terrible you are, you feel like you're amazing at whatever game you happen to be playing. This is wrong. Games need to challenge us. You can't expect to feel like you accomplished something if you haven't worked toward that accomplishment. Anyway, the game's retained difficulty makes me happy. Except for the fact that you can change the way you activate the pogo cane. See, you used to have to hold down on the D-pad while pressing the B button to activate the cane. Now you have the option to just shut that off entirely and press whatever your action button happens to be set to. So, really not worth complaining about, but still a minor annoyance. All the levels have been lovingly re-rendered in 2.5D HD. And if you don't know what 2.5D is, it's pretty simple. It's all the characters move on a 2D plane, but all the backgrounds are rendered in 3D. And speaking of the characters, all the models are beautiful looking, hand-drawn art. Quite possibly my favorite part of the game is the amazingly rearranged soundtrack. Just like the 8-bit version, I was humming along the entire time. Though, I gotta admit, when I'm playing on the moon, I can't help but sing the lyrics to the Brental Floss cover.
You got a creepy Scottish accent too, and you're bathing gold, bathing gold.
WayForward even decided to go ahead and add an entirely new final level to the mix, rather than just, returning to Transylvania like it would in the original NES game. Now, in the interest of, not spoiling things, I feel I shouldn't show footage of that level, which I won't do. But I'm just going to go on record and say I loved it. It was well placed and awesome. So I don't think you need to worry about that. Alright. I've had enough nerdgasms now. It's time to actually find out what I rate DuckTales. DuckTales Remastered gets an 8 out of 10. And you might be saying to yourself, well, you were speaking so highly of it and how you love it and everything. How come you didn't give it a perfect score? Oh, that's easy. While it is a loving HD remake of an amazing NES game, it didn't exactly innovate or change the face of gaming as we know it. Which is really what I think 9s and 10s should be saved for. So, whether you still have the original DuckTales on your shelf, or you don't even know what the hell DuckTales is, you really should give it a try. It's an education on what platformers should be in the modern age, and always, really. And at a $14.99 price tag, who could argue? It should be noted, though, that the Xbox Live Arcade version has not released yet. It's supposed to release on September 11th. So just keep that in mind when you're choosing a platform. But I would say PC, because PC master gaming race. Anyway, there you have it. DuckTales is awesome. I hope you enjoyed this look at it, but more importantly, I hope you enjoyed playing it. So if you'll excuse me, I need to go jump in a pool of gold. No, really. See?
Life is